Work on the unannounced Jurassic Coaster is happening faster than ever. The coaster track is almost entirely installed, new rockwork is being fabricated more and more each day, and even the load station is starting to be enclosed. Let's take a look around the site from the air and from the ground while we discuss what we know and what we think we know about the Velocicoaster. For anyone that hasn't been following along with this project, here's a quick recap. Universal Orlando is building a new roller coaster, which is thought to have been manufactured by Intamin. It is being built at Islands of Adventure in the Jurassic Park section. Many believe that the ride will be named Velocicoaster, and Universal verified that they are intending to use that trademark for something, so it's entirely possible. The first half of the ride takes place in what used to be the old Triceratops Encounter, a former walkthrough attraction that closed many years before this project got started. The second half of the ride takes place over the lagoon in front of the Discovery Center. We're expecting this to be a pretty thrilling coaster, with several inversions and the highest speed in the park rumored to be somewhere around 70 miles per hour. Now that you're all caught up, one of the biggest milestones for the coaster was completed recently. The tallest section of the track was installed on the top hat element. Since this is the tallest part of the project, it was topped off with a flag, which appears to have a Jurassic emblem on it. The full circuit hasn't been completed, as one section of track hasn't been installed yet. This turn near the end of the ride has been left out so construction equipment can pass through more easily. The ride itself will start here, just to the left of the Discovery Center. We will enter a transfer cage before being launched into the Velociraptor paddock, surrounded by concrete walls and electric fences. We'll twist and turn several times throughout the area while narrowly missing large amounts of rockwork-style theming and a rumored waterfall. We can see some of the rockwork taking shape in this area. It looks like these themed elements will be layered, allowing the track to weave in and out of them. This is going to create some head chopper type thrills while also obscuring what's coming up next on the ride. The Warden's watchtower has been installed above the station. While the lookout section at the top is just for show, the tower below may be used for access to upper levels. This watchtower features a basic Jurassic logo on the sides, which could be for either Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, but we'll get into that a bit more later. I can imagine spotlights and fake surveillance cameras being added around the tower as well, to make it seem like they take keeping an eye on the Raptors very seriously. And speaking of the Raptors, as I have mentioned on the channel's recent vlog update, we are expecting at least 6 animatronic figures to be placed around this attraction. These are still rumors at this point, but I have heard from several sources that we can expect to see some moving Raptors in the paddock area and a couple more in the last scene before unload. When our time in the paddock area is complete, we will be launched out over the lagoon and up that very tall top hat. This second and final launch element is expected to be the fastest part of the ride. On our way down in front of the Discovery Center, we will pass over a water feature which is rumored to flow down to the lagoon. We will then circle around the bridge near the Three Broomsticks patio area, return back in front of the Discovery Center, enter a Heartline roll, and then head back to the paddock area. It's this last section, where we're re-entering the cage, where the final sequence will take place. In my first rumor video about this attraction, before any of the track had even been installed, I had theorized that we may possibly see some sort of screen tunnel for the final scene. It sounds like I was wrong though, and instead, animatronic figures will be used. As we make our way down the final brake run leading to unload, it sounds like a Raptor will chase alongside of our train. While we're paying attention to the Raptor on one side, the attack comes from the other, as a second Raptor jumps out in front of us for one last scare before we turn left into the station. In addition to the 6 possible animatronics, there's also been talk of another 2 static figures that may be part of this project as well. It's possible these could be part of the queue, where we will see some Raptor muzzles near the stables. Or another theory is that these figures may be statues, perhaps part of the new courtyard area in front of the Discovery Center. While the land already has a Jurassic Park arch when you enter on the Hogsmeade side, this new courtyard area in front of the Discovery Center may have its own entry signage when entering on the bridge from the Lost Continent. This could be an opportunity to create an almost mini land within the larger Jurassic Park land, maybe even complete with its own Welcome to Jurassic World sign. Which leads us to the age-old question, will this land be entirely re-themed to Jurassic World? And the honest answer is, I don't know. The rumors for a while said that they only had the budget to build the coaster and not to re-theme the river adventure, and that might still be true, but I guess that's not going to stop the new attractions being added from being themed to Jurassic World and not park. When Islands of Adventure reopened last month, the new and improved Raptor encounter opened as well. This permanent location not only features an adorable 6-month-old Raptor, in addition to being able to meet Blue, but it also includes theming elements taken directly from Jurassic World. The background walls and color scheme are certainly reminiscent of the style from the newer films. However, if that wasn't enough to convince you, take a look at the new Raptor trainer uniforms. So, we now have a Jurassic World meet and greet inside of a larger Jurassic Park land, and the new coaster will likely continue the trend. While the tower may feature a nondescript logo, and it's rumored that the queue will feature in-gen logos instead of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, there will probably be characters and more taken directly from the new films. The Raptors themselves will be the ones from Jurassic World, with Blue featured most prominently. It's even rumored that the trains will be blue in color. While waiting in line for the ride, we also will be able to see Raptor muzzles along the stable doors for the paddock. There's even a chance that one or two of the rumored animatronics or static figures could be the Raptor heads inside of these muzzles. Who knows if Universal intends to keep the larger area themed to Jurassic Park, including Camp Jurassic, the River Adventure, and the restaurants, while adding this new coaster and the Raptor encounter as a sort of Jurassic World mini-land inside. Or maybe they're playing the long game, and while it might not be at first, perhaps the entire land will eventually be converted as the years go on. It may seem like construction is moving fast, but the so-called Velocicoaster is still not expected to open until next year. Permits have construction wrapping up by the spring of 2021, but with testing, we might not see a grand opening until the summer. As for an official announcement, I don't expect Universal to say much of anything about this project, even if we can see it with our own eyes, until the end of the year. They may only want to focus on promoting their seasonal events for the time being. That's all for now, but check out the last video on the channel for my reactions to seeing all of the track in person for the first time. And if you like what we do, consider joining our Patreon for exclusive content and early releases. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there.